Hey guys, thanks for watching Delisa's Life. Usually when someone asks me or my wife a question, my wife is the only one who answers that question. I really don't access into everyone's comments and answer the question. She does a lot of that. But this first one, Lisa B, you know what, I'm not going to say everybody's name going down, but she asked a personal question about what I was going to do with my 401k once I was debt free. And as you guys know, I'll be debt free probably by the end of next month regarding my truck. Only thing we'll have left is our mortgage. My 401k, I, I, I pushed it all the way down to 6%. Dave Ramsey says you should pretty much not contribute to it and wait till you're debt free. You know, maybe bring it down to 1% until you're debt free. I did 6 because our company matches us up to 6, so it's like throwing away free money. Something I've said before in earlier videos, but I just want to be clear of that. So it's at 6% now. Next month, when I'm completely debt free, knock on wood, nothing crazy happens, I'm going to double it. I'm going to raise it to 12%. And once again, if everything goes well, pay off my mortgage in 3 to 4 years, then I'll probably take it up to 20%. Now, if I recall, you do have a maximum amount you can contribute every year. I have to look back at what that amount is, but I think I can go somewhere in the 18 to 20% mark without exceeding that limit. So that was my answer to Lisa B. Hey Lisa. All right. Another one someone asked. This one someone asked me at work is how much money should I contribute to the company I work for? Dave Ramsey says 0. You should contribute everything into a 401k, a mutual fund, basically, where there's multiple stocks. That way, if one of the stocks go bad, you don't feel a big impact with your a big mutual fund where mutual fund owns 20 stocks. As I said, one goes out of business. It's no big deal because you're balanced out over 20 stocks. So I think this happened because of companies like Enron, who are lying to shareholders, who are lying to, company employees. They were lying to everybody. So here you had people who worked for that company for, 15, 20 years, millionaires, because the stock had been just in the last 20 years was just, did something like 1,000% increase. Let's just use that number. So many of the people who worked there for 10, 15 years they could retire almost, but they enjoyed their job and they kept doing it. Well, the company went out of business basically overnight. Once people found out they were, all their numbers were lies, basically. The stock plummeted to basically pennies on the dollar, and then the company filed for bankruptcy. I think the day after, so it went completely out of business, making everybody there probably except the CEO flat broke, and then they had lawsuits upon lawsuits. But really, once the funding comes out of your company in the stock market, you're broke. So but every company is the same. Imagine if you worked for Apple the last 20 years. If you listen to what Dave Ramsey said, you wouldn't have been a part of any of that run up. Apple in the last 20 years increased, just throw a figure out there, 10,000% or more. Just think about that. So if you did what Dave Ramsey said and you started working for Apple when it was a $3 stock and you didn't contribute any of your money from the time that stock went from $3 to $1,000, split, ran back up, you would have missed all that action. There's other companies, for example, Google, Amazon. When all these companies came on board, if you was there for 15, 20 years, you're really rich right now. So I understand what Dave Ramsey is saying. He's saying protect yourself, but I think most people have an idea, except for the people at Enron with what's going on with their company. They have a feeling, you know how things are going. So I would say, based on your company, yeah, and how long you've been in it, I'm more prone to 40% with the company, 60%, the rest in a mutual fund. And as you get closer to your retirement age, that's when you start putting it all into the mutual fund because you don't want to take an unexpected big hit. So that's what I would say. It truly depends on the company you're with because some of these companies, they've been on a tear for the last 15, 20 years. So that's a tough one. Someone asked me what I'm gonna do when I get my truck. I was planning on buying a Mercedes, a used Mercedes, simply because I work a mile and a half away from home. But after a few months of thinking about it, something as simple as a water pump going out on a Mercedes, which is normal, occurrence within a 4-year, 5-year car lifespan. On a Mercedes, that's $800-900 changing it out. I mean, the part alone is probably 600. Then having somebody change it out because it's a Mercedes, they're going to charge you another 300. You're going to spend $1,000. The battery in most Mercedes aren't even in the engine compartment. They're underneath the rear seat in the back. So once again, you have to take it in for the most part to just change the battery. And everybody knows batteries goes out about every 2-3 years. So after thinking about all that, I'm probably just going to buy a little beater. I'm going to listen to Dave Ramsey about that. Just get something like, $3,000 car, put the rest of the money on the house. Because I think my truck's worth a lot of money, by the way. 2010 Honda Ridgeline truck with, I don't have a lot of miles on it, and it's absolutely clean. So I'm going to sell the truck, buy a little $3,000 car, put the rest on the house. I'm happy, wifey happy, everybody happy. I was listening to, I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to get yelled at. There were some tips. It was top 10 tips for being debt free. And believe it or not, one of them were use your credit card and pay it at the end of the month. Well, I can't agree with that simply because, number one, when you have your credit card, you spend a lot more than you would have when you have cash. Because you feel the pain of cash. You see it leaving your hands when you count it out. You feel the little bit of change you get back. You don't feel anything with a credit card. So instead of you spending $40 if you had cash, you're more likely to pay $60 or $70, spend $60 or $70 with a card. Also, if you make all your purchases and write them down, let's say you're the perfect person, write them down, and you get to the end of the month and there's a big hiccup, you possibly may not pay that complete bill off. Now you got interest rates on it. So I don't agree with it. I don't like credit cards. One of the best things Dave Ramsey ever told me was get rid of all of them. And it makes sense. Because when you're debt free, you don't need credit cards. Someone said the reason why they liked the idea was simply because they get to stack up airline miles. When you're debt free, who cares about airlines miles? You can pay for a trip every 2 weeks when you get paid. Some people get paid weekly. Hey, I'm a person who gets paid every 2 weeks. You can pay for wherever you want to go every 2 weeks. It's your money. You have no mortgage. You have no car payment. You have nothing. A light bill, water bill, and groceries. You can take a trip I can take a trip to England every 2 weeks. Think about it. So airline miles and you keeping a credit card just to get airline miles makes no sense. When you're debt free, take all the trips you want in the world. What's probably the best thing that worked for me and my wife? Well, we got rid of a lot of stuff. I always jump on cable. Cable is, to me, nowadays, the worst investment you can make. With things like Roku, And Hulu, first of all, Roku come built into almost all the new televisions. So if you have a television 2, 3 years old, Roku is built into the TV. So your TV can take internet streaming. So you don't need a cable box. I have more stuff on my Roku than I could possibly watch. I mean, most of the shows post the next day. So let's say you're watching a show on NBC, airs tonight. If I don't, I'm typically able to see it the next day or maybe the next week. Really, I don't watch TV like that. So, and I prefer binge watching. So binge watching, I prefer watching 3 episodes at one time. I don't like watch an episode, wait another week, watch another episode. No, I turn on Roku, I pick whatever show I want to watch, and what's not on Roku is on my Hulu, and I'm spending the Roku. I bought the Roku device, so for me it was $40, and Hulu is $8 a month. Now the only thing I have to use is the internet. My internet bill, I want to say, is like $40. That's it. $100 for cable, silly. Home phones. People have home phones. I talked to a young lady who said she had a home phone, but she said it was bundled up with her cable, with her boom boom. I understand. She went and got a package deal. She even said she doesn't use it. It's silly. But I understand they group it in as a package, so your bill is a little bit better. Because if you got rid of it, it really won't affect your overall cable bundle bill that much. So I understand, but a home phone makes no sense. Everybody got 3 cell phones now. But really, one thing what helps me and my wife, I got rid of my cell phone. Useless. You know, I would say the average person pays $60 a month for their cell phone. I was paying $65, $70 when I had it. So that was an easy let go for me. That was simple. Also, the bank, we're married, so the bank sends us 2 separate debit cards. In fact, they just sent us new ones because ours had expired. I plan on cutting mine up. Now you say, why would you do that? Well, it forces you and your mate to talk. Now, if you don't have no mate, you're only going to have 1 debit card. But it forces me and my wife to have a conversation every morning about what we're buying, what we're spending. Do you need to buy gas? Do you need to, and because I can come home for lunch, if she needs the card, I can give it to her, or, she can drive up to my job and get the card. So having 1 debit card and you guys sharing it forces the conversation between you and your mate, you and your spouse, and you and your living friend, whatever you want to call them, so that's one that really worked well for me. Yeah, I think that's it. I just want to have a one-on-one, talk to you guys, crazy things, what works for us. And guys, this stuff really works. Nothing I tell you guys is a lie. Anybody who knows me, everything I say is true. I have nothing to gain. I don't have 10 million viewers watching me for me to say something silly. No, everything I'm doing, everything you're seeing is my simple life. And I'm not debt free yet, and I feel like I'm rich already. Think about that. I still have a big mortgage I have to pay off. I think it's at 120-something thousand. If you consider that big, that's actually a small mortgage. But when we started this debt-free journey, we owed the world, 1 year ago, we owed the world $144,000. We've gotten rid of $23,000 in 11 months. And I'm not going to, I might dance a little bit, but I'm not going to celebrate that. I'm going to celebrate when I pay off this house. And believe it or not, on paper it says we should do it in 4 years, but I believe we will do it in 3. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. This was a one-on-one part of Delisa's life. hubby episode. Have a good day.